Hello and welcome! Tonight on the show, you're going to catch us chilling with Heinz, Ketchili. Boy, we are so excited to have you. Thank you for joining us. This is Soft Spoken.
And we're back. We are Soft Spoken, with a podcast detailing your favorite sauces, dips, and condiments. My name's Adam, and I'll be your host, and I'm joined here this week by my co-host, Tori.
Hey, good afternoon. I hope everyone got their dentist on the line over these last couple of days from eating all that dang candy. At least brushed your teeth extra good. But you're looking good anyway. We're super glad to have you. Of course, this is Soft Spoken. And to my right, he's known to his relatives deep in the Horsehead Nebula as Inuktuk-Binoop49. We know him here on planet Earth as E, our good friend E and co-host. Welcome to the show, E.
That's
Alien.
Alien, yeah, one of my favorite horror movies, that's for sure, or sci-fi horror.
Your Life is my favorite horror movie.
What is?
Your Life.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Got him.
It unfolds right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, it's funny, and even being an alien, I still have chompers and have to go to the dentist myself. I just went yesterday.
To Dr. George?
I went to Dr. Sakai, your
Dr.
favorite
Saki.
doctor to, yes.
I noticed your appointment card's still on the fridge.
Ah, nice.
You know I'm always neb shitting in your house. I'm always poking around.
Yes, in fact,
Poking
they
and
threatened to
prod.
take away my wisdom.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
At least
You
my
have
bottom
so little
wisdom.
of it to
Half
begin
my
with.
wisdom, I know, yeah.
That explains a lot.
I'm
E.
surprised it took you this long. They've been threatening to take my wisdom for a long time. They said you clearly need what you have left, so...
Yeah, I was actually surprised,
But
too.
before we get any further, it's time to catch up with the host.
Time to catch up.
Okay, Eric, now you can continue.
That was a good one.
Gotta get that in there. So it was a good appointment, all things considered. Dentist on Tuesday.
How much was there to consider?
Well, I had x-rays and I wanted to make sure that it was, able, like that the routine cleaning was covered by insurance and all that, jazz. I, last minute, the day of, hours before the appointment, I was like scrambling through, information at work trying to figure out, is this covered? Am I allowed 2 cleanings a year? Yes,
that
I'm allowed
tracks.
2 cleanings a year.
Every 6
Waiting
months.
to the last minute. Of course.
What else?
Every 6 months, yeah.
What else did you get into this week, Eric?
Let's see. I recently had another game night. Played a little bit of was it for Binding Isaac?
The Binding of Isaac?
Binding of Isaac. Thank you. It's a video game.
A board game? Oh,
And
okay.
it's a board game as well.
Oh, okay.
So I played, but the Binding of Isaac it has 4 somewhere in the name. I'm screwing that all up. I don't
Okay.
know how it goes. Anyways, because you're supposed to get 4 souls. That's what it is. It's the 4 souls. Binding of Isaac, 4 souls. I think is what it is.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's
Not the story in Genesis, by the way.
Right.
that card game's pretty good. Working on the card game that my friend Nathan and I are developing a little bit.
What's
Hammered
it called?
We have a working title.
Yeah, what's the working
We have a
title?
working title that I really don't like, but I need to still sway Nathan to a new title. I'm not sure what to call it yet, but
It's a working title, dude.
We call it Be Not Afraid. Yes, that's the working title.
All right.
Okay. I think it's sort of cool. Good name.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. It's adequate for a working title.
It's certainly adequate for a working title.
Something must be like something, like code name Nerd Boys or something,
Didn't name it after my homeland.
Dweebdom.
Enoch to Nook Benop 45.
Exactly.
49. Excuse
Sounds
me.
like you're trying to
49.
beatbox over there. They're not bebop, bebop, 5.
I wrote it down.
Oh, okay, very good.
Yeah, this is not this gobbledygook. I wrote that down.
Is it
phonetically.
something backwards?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is, it is gobbledygook at the end of the day.
Don't you speak
end
your
of the day.
Scientology to me.
I got kicked out of work today. That was always fun.
Ejected.
Ejected.
For being a sicko.
For having a runny nose. I was told to go home.
Dang.
And then I worked from home.
You
and
did?
then found out that I wasn't actually on the clock the whole time I was working. So
Womp womp.
Wow.
that's real fun.
E working for free.
Whatever you
Nothing
do,
new there.
don't
Nothing
fix
new.
that. Just let it go.
It'll fix itself. Don't
Right.
worry.
Yeah. The problem will solve itself. They took my stapler. What about you, Tori? How was your week this week?
Oh boy. Well, I may have mentioned, I think I did last week about a new game I was playing at Kataria Fables, where it was,
Yes.
I just fired it up, and boy, now that I'm a couple hours into it, it's a stinker.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just such a chore, and I really, really wanted to like it. So I'm back to Stardew Valley. I'm back to the old classic, and I haven't played it in quite a long time. So the updates are new and refreshing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hard to go wrong with that one, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you cannot lose. Absolutely can't lose.
Yeah, that's a solid winner.
Yeah, so other than that, I mean, it's getting a little colder, and by extension, I'm very colder than usual. So yeah, I'm struggling with that. You know, hey. It's October. Halloween's over. Or, excuse me, it's November.
It's November.
Yeah, November now.
Halloween is over.
But there you have it, man. That's my
Halloween has been over for almost 2 weeks now, Tori. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, wow, well done.
Just a week, right? I think a week. It is 2 weeks.
Because we record a little bit in advance, Eric.
That's right.
Oh, wow. Time flies. Yeah, and it's definitely been gray recently, which sucks.
A lot of gray.
Yeah.
A lot of gray.
Lots and lots of gray.
Pittsburgh.
Cold, wet, rainy.
Yeah.
Getting back to the weather.
Yep. Back to our roots.
How about you, Adam? How's your week been?
Went to a pretty wild party on Saturday. I'm trying to think what else I did. Oh, I made a lovely bolognese sauce, which which we could have done, I guess, on the pod. What would you guys rate that? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man,
we could have had some of that on the podcast. I still have some left frozen. I made an industrial amount, as I like to say, which is just more convenient for me. But I filled up my one stock pot with it, and as soon as it was done, I immediately took out and froze half, threw it in my freezer, and I took the other half over to your house, Tori, for a game night, and we had it there. How many of us? 4 of us? 5 of us were there?
Yeah.
And we all ate it, and then I took it home, and I proceeded to eat it for the rest of the week. And I still have half frozen, so
awesome.
bear that in mind. So yeah, that was successful. And then
that is great.
Went to a party on Saturday, and I made some dough weenies, as I like to call them. Other people may refer to them as pigs in a blanket.
Indeed.
But when I was raised, and this is something I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on, but when I was growing up, pigs in a blanket were either mini hot dogs or cut up full-size hot dogs wrapped in bacon.
Nope, there's always dough.
Yeah, but I think it's more common to have them as dough. But that's what it was always referred to by my family, was those were pigs in a blanket. So,
let me try this on for size.
Okay.
Pigs in a blanket, stuffed cabbage, my dude.
I have heard that as well.
Yeah.
I know some people have said that too, which I think that's probably more of a Pittsburgh thing.
I think so.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
So just to add that to confusion, so it's like, what do you call those miniature hot dogs that are wrapped in dough, or like that puff pastry or crescent rolls?
Well, are you asking me?
Well, kind of, but my family always called those dough weenies. That's where I was coming from with that. So
yeah, I don't know. Croissant weenies, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean...
dough weenies just seemed easy.
Yeah.
So, but...
I don't know, it's white like a sheet or a blanket, so...
Yeah,
I always like pigs in a blanket, and it's usually hot dogs are generally pork, oftentimes. So.
I see the logic there, for sure.
What I think would really be good would if you had one wrapped in bacon, cooked, and then wrapped in dough and cooked. That sounds quite good. You have to cook the bacon in advance, so that'd be the hard part, I think.
That would be the hard part.
I don't know how you would go about doing that. But yeah, then I also made some buffalo chicken dip.
Nice.
So yeah, a lot of cooking. But that was
where'd you get your chicken?
John Eagle.
Yeah? Is it rotisserie or canned?
Those are the only options.
The only types of chicken. It was chicken breast that I did in the slow pot. In the slow pot. In the slow pot. It's a slow boy over here talking about a slow pot. The slow cooker.
Very nice.
Don't have an Instapot, huh?
Are you going somewhere with this? It looks like you're setting me up for a joke.
No, I'm gonna leave you hanging. No, I really had no joke.
Oh,
I've heard two recipes.
Look on your face,
yeah, I know. Well, that was a good joke about the only 2 parts of the way the chicken comes. But the one recipe I had with buffalo chicken dip, we had rotisserie chicken in it.
That sounds real good.
And it was fire. It was so good. Yeah.
I made it with a canned chicken before, but I'd actually made just a bunch of chicken breast in the slow pot, as we're calling it now, and I turned some of that into a barbacoa.
Oh, yum.
So I could have it with the Blasian barbacoa sauce.
Nice.
Which brings me on to a Sauce-Spoken Rewind.
Sauce-Spoken.
And that was the first one, was I just mentioned that, is I did have that on some tacos. It was pretty good. It got a little bit washed out. Again, the same thing. We really like that flavor on whatever we tried it on. I think it was Nugs, but the milder one gets so washed out so easily. But the other thing I wanted to mention was I had gotten some angel hair pasta for the bolognese when we had it at your house, Tori. I had a little bit left over tonight, so I actually whipped up a little bit of a just basically some angel hair pasta with like some butter, a little splash of milk, a little dollop of lemon juice in there, some herbs, like some parsley, some black pepper, and whip that all together with some Parmesan. And I coated it lightly on the top there with a little dusting of some truffle oil. It's quite good.
Nice.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, I would recommend. Although I think now that I've had it a few times on some other things, there was also a very small amount in the bolognese sauce.
Very small amount.
I think there's some other spoken sauces in there too. I don't know if you want to reveal all your secrets.
Oh yeah, the Gravy Master was in there. There's a little dollop of Gravy Master. What else did I tell you?
Marmite.
I did not put a Marmite. I thought about it. Okay. Yeah, I did strongly consider it, but I forgot. I want to say that for chili, I think.
Oh, there you go.
That'll be good.
Yeah, it was quite the umami bomb for the bolognese. But no, I've had that truffle oil a few times now, and I think I'm starting to get a better grasp. You know, like we had said, the flavor is kind of subtle. But the one thing that I think that they're getting on in those cooking shows that I think maybe we missed a little bit before is that the smell is so pungent that it kind of like coats the inside of your nose, and I think it just makes it harder to detect other flavors. So I don't think it's as much that the flavor itself is overpowering, more so that it like masks other flavors. Yeah, that's what I'm starting to get from it now, is that it does kind of like it like fills all the receptacles in your nostrils.
So you have to be careful with what you pair it with. You want to pair it with something that's also very strong in odor?
Yeah, I think kind of you have to have other strong flavors with it to kind of balance it out. It is weird, like you said, on fries, you know, it's a very subtle flavor.
Yeah.
But you think about it, we had on fries, which are so, you know, I don't know what the word is, but the monochrome version of whatever taste is, you know, mono taste.
Good enough for me.
That works, I think.
I'm sure there's some Latin word or something, but, you know, they're so, you know, one-to-one bland anyways that we weren't covering anything up with the truffle oil. Whereas I think if you have more complex flavors, especially more subtle ones in a pasta dish like that, it does kind of like take the lead role.
I'll be damned.
It's
very
hard.
Interesting.
It's not a strong flavor, but like I said, I do feel like it fills up all your available nostril receptacles.
Ain't that something?
So,
feeling worth the price value now.
Well, you have to use very little of it. That's one thing I will say. So,
even though we poured a ton of it on those fries.
Yes, we did. Oh, and I have another soft-spoken update. I actually used the rest of your El Paso cheese. I made some cheese fries yesterday.
Yay.
Oh, good. Nice.
So, and I didn't like it as much on the fries. I would have preferred to have just a more typical nacho cheese. I felt like it was cold, which I think that didn't help. Like, I just had it like normal, you know, like fridge temperature, and I figured the fries would heat it up. I think if I would have heated it up, it would have worked a little better. But we had talked about how that one was kind of runny already, so I was a little concerned to heat it up
too much.
Thin.
Yeah.
But, a lot of soft-spoken rewinds for me this week. But one other thing I wanted to touch on, Tori, I think you missed a little tidbit, another fun activity you did this past week, which is going to lead us directly into the sauce.
Oh, right.
Took a trip to Ollie's!
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, you got to help me out there. But yeah, I did take a trip to Ollie's. I take a trip to Ollie's maybe once every 3 weeks or so. I don't like to go any less than that because, I mean, I really do like Ollie's.
Not Aldi's.
Oh, no, not Aldi's, the German grocery store. Ollie's.
Right.
The junk garage sale that actually is headquartered in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about this before, but in case the listeners missed an episode, I wanted to make sure we were being perfectly clear.
Yeah.
Are they in other states besides PA?
They're headquartered in Harrisburg.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're anywhere else, but they're certainly right here in Pittsburgh, and I like going down there. And when I went down there, I found a Heinz product, believe it or not, a Ketchili. So you want me to go into bottle design, or?
Well, I wanted you to just introduce the sauce. You know, we got finally another Heinz product.
Yeah.
I think it's been a little while since we had a Heinz product, and this is the Ketchili, which we mentioned before on the show back when we did the
Cranch.
The Cranch, that's what it was. Yeah.
Which was not very good.
Yeah. So we got another goofball sort of mix up between ketchup and a sweet Thai chili sauce.
Yeah.
And it's called Ketchili. Imagine that.
Let's let Eric go ahead and do the initial bottle design, what we're looking at on the outside of the container there, and hit us with that there, Eric.
So it's I think we may have said it before, the Heinz ketchup design for their bottle for their ketchup is a very voluptuous, contoured.
Voluptuous.
That's right.
Luxurious.
You got your hourglass-esque going shape here. very slim from the side profile. It's
Eric,
got
are you sporting a little chub over there? Is that what I'm starting to see? This bottle better quit playing right now. That's all I gotta say.
got both hands on the table, and I don't know what you're talking
Quit
about.
playing our end.
It's playing with the bottle titties right now.
I am playing with it. Yes, I am feeling it up here. I don't know. It's a cool bottle, actually.
You're gonna make it
feels
squirt
good
pretty
in
soon,
your
Eric.
hand, because it has that you have that T-bone shape, or no, like bone
T-bone.
shape, not T-bone, but like a bone, like wider on the.
And you know what a
either
bone in the hand
ends.
feels like.
So it's made for squeezing. It's
Made
a good
for squeezing.
It's ergonomic.
Yes, it is. It's very ergonomic. It's a great design, and it served Heinz very well over the years. I would say over these last, I don't know, easily a decade. They've been having bottles like this. So.
You're gonna get a restraining order from Heinz after what you said about their bottles.
And Ollie's are going to toss a PFA on you.
Yep.
The logo is the Keystone logo, and blazoned on a white background.
Emblazoned on a white
Emblazoned.
background.
With red and orange, offset with a little white between them, which looks really sharp. You got the sweet Thai chili sauce. I can almost
Quite
talk.
the mouthful.
Yeah. Sweet Thai chili sauce coming in from the left side and the ketchup coming in from the right side. And they swirl together into a little cup in the middle of their logo. It looks good and almost slightly chalice-like, doesn't it?
I know we.
Yeah, you're like a chalice.
Yeah, that's fair. I know we've talked about this before, but the two streams like that coming together, to me, just seems a little too industrial. I find it a little bit off-putting. It just, I don't know, something reminds me of I get like slaughterhouse vibes, like just, tubes of things going in and out of places or whatever, just things being squirted.
Wow, that's what you get off of that.
I would feel more comfortable if I saw like two bottles, like the sauce is coming out of two separate bottles. You know what I mean? The fact that it's just two never-ending lines coming from the sides of the container there makes me feel a little bit too
you
too
may be onto
industrial.
something.
I keep waiting for Adam to use the word tentacle so I can get him to say, oh, he's watched too much tentacle porn or something.
No, but that's you,
he's been-
Eric.
he's
You're
been
the one that
scarred.
thought of that. The tentacle waifu that you have.
Right. It says Heinz in black, established 1869, sweet Ketchili, and the ketchup part is in KET lettering is red, and then the chili part is in orange.
That reminds me of that show, How It's Made. That's what when I think of when I see those streams.
Oh, wow.
It's just streams coming out like high-pressure ketchup lines, How It's Made.
How it's made.
There's your ketchup. There's your chili. Done. Next.
So, yeah, and then the back has all of course, your regular information, your, nutritious facts and
One special
ingredients.
edition.
And then the Ollie's sticker, which is a big fluorescent
Emblazoned on the back.
orange. Yes.
Luckily, not covering the ingredients strategically.
Yeah, I had to rip it off the front so I could take a good picture.
Ah,
Mhm.
I gotcha.
So that's a strategic placement, and I wanted
Very
to keep
good.
it there for the price also.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And of course, it has that silicone little butthole that Adam loves so much or does not love.
Don't like it.
You don't like it.
Angry. I don't want buttholes anywhere near my food, thank you, Eric.
Or
Unlike you
streams of
sick
anything.
tentacle-licking fuck.
Tentacles.
No streams, no tentacles, no buttholes for sure. Well, with that being said, Tori, do you want to give us a little bit of a visual description of the actual sauce inside the bottle that we're looking at?
Yeah, sure. I mean, boy, at a distance, and we have the luxury of having this in a clear, almost looks, it was adequately referred to as a medicine cup. So yeah, and having a clear bottle really lends a nice, I can get a good peep. I'm going to get my good peepers on this. But yeah, so at a distance, I think it just looks like straight up old ketchup. It's red. There's some shingling on the side there. However, when it gets a bit thin, you can see almost what looks like, and this may
Peel?
almost looks like, well, yeah, I'm going to cause some controversy on two different fronts here. When it thins out, not only does it sort of, there's peels floating around in there, but it sort of looks like a General Tso's sauce. Dare I say.
I think you
No.
do dare. I am inclined to agree with all, although I will say this isn't nearly as spicy
Spicy as
as
it
so
should
many
be.
General Tso's
Oh, my
sauces.
goodness gracious. Yeah.
I can still feel my tongue, and who
I
hasn't had their face melted off by a General Tso's on a regular basis before?
I mean, I don't mean to cause a stir, but I do think that is an adequate description of what we have here in front of us. So yeah,
I think it's pretty amazing too that as it thins out, and as you're saying, it looks like General Tso's in a way. It also it clearly looks more orangey, just like their label.
yes.
Agree.
They really nailed that color scheme. Almost like they looked at the sauce before they designed the logo.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, as the concentration on the side of the glass thins out from thick on the sauce to thin, it goes from a deep ketchupy red that you'd be used to seeing absolutely to that orange. You nailed it.
You know, I think one other interesting observation about the sauce inside of the bottle is that it is coating in more of like a sheer layer than like ketchup on its own does. Like, I feel like ketchup could be described as kind of like clumpy, you know, where it tends to like drift down in globs as opposed to creating an even sheen across something. I don't know if that's like due to some sort of like cornstarch or maybe some xanthan gum, bang, perchance, or if it's just maybe there's more sugar in this or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's more sugar. I think it's a touch, I don't know, I was going to say a touch thinner, but Tori, as he was looking through his little medicine cup there, was rotating it almost nearly a hot 360. It passes the blizzard test.
I don't think it's thinner. I think it's the same consistency of ketchup. I just think it's the texture is so much different that it's kind of like throwing you off. That's what I think about it.
The texture is different. There's certainly no question.
From a distance from across the table, it looks virtually identical to a ketchup in the bottle when it's grouped up down there. The only thing where you can tell the difference is at the top where it started to get that kind of, like I said, a lighter sheen, whereas ketchup, like I said, you can get like a coating of ketchup, but it doesn't last. You know what I mean? Like it pretty quickly starts just running off in clumps. This is definitely sheening more, I would say.
I think it almost has like a slightly jelly property to it, almost.
Yes, something gelatin-esque. Maybe that's a better way to pull it. It's got like I said, it's almost got like that kind of cornstarchy thing in it, you know. So
agreed.
Or gelatin, you know, for that matter. I think that's accurate. You did mention, you know, we had this in these neat little shot glass cups, which look identical to the things that come with NyQuil.
Yeah.
And which is a little bit off-putting. And the other thing we had these on our nuggets, but as an astute listener to recent episodes will know, we've recently transitioned to name brand Tyson Dino Nuggies.
Yeah.
Which have
Jurassic over here.
Dramatically, I think, improved the culinary experience on the show.
No doubt.
I think be honest, I think it straight up tastes better. I don't know. Like, I like them crunchy, and I feel like, I don't know, these are more tolerable of being overcooked than the other little wafers we had, you know?
Yes.
Were they like great value chicken nuggets in first couple bags?
Yeah, I think they were a banquet. They were whatever the absolute cheapest cardboard nuggets I could get were.
They were bad.
Yeah, those weren't even worthy of being canned or rotisserie.
Oh, wow. That's the third.
Straight out of the wood chipper.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. I know you were quite alarmed, Adam. You thought I had some like Halloween trick remaining as I was pulling them out of the toaster oven.
Why?
The shape.
Oh, yeah.
You were very
the
confused.
shape did throw me off at first because I thought, did Eric buy tendies? And I thought, surely Eric wouldn't have gone out and purchased additional food for us. So.
Absolutely not.
And
you went out and got chicken-free chicken nuggets.
What?
Now that I might do just because it sounds
nuggets?
fun.
I mean, I would give them a shot. I've had the Beyond Burger and I thought it was palatable.
Yeah, I tried it too.
It's a different texture, but it's like it's a different thing. But I would eat one. To be honest, like I didn't find it offensive at all.
I even went back and ate a second. I think. Yeah, I did.
I actually kind of like the texture of those. It's more of like a homogenized texture, which I find strange, but also pleasant, and like satisfies the OCD part of me, I think. So
okay.
It's more finely ground. But the one other thing when we first came to Eric's house that disturbed me a little bit was that I heard a boiling sound, and I was like, oh God, what is Eric making this loud boiling sound? He was running the dishwasher, but at first I was very concerned that it was something to do with the tasting articles we were going to have to endure the sauce on.
Boiled chicken with your Ketchili.
I was afraid of something
worst.
like that. Eric, you know, Eric is always trying to salvage sauces by sautéing them or whatever you said. Not sautéing, but sauté. Wasn't that the thing with the Lee Kum-Kee bullshit sauce?
Lee Kum-Kee sand sauce.
Sand sauce.
It's good stuff.
Made by Darude.
Actually, right before you guys came over, I had me some drunken noodles. It was great. I got a heat level of 5. And
you made ramen and you had bourbon. I didn't take it.
No.
You have become a fully borderline functional alcoholic. So
yes, but no, didn't have any alcohol tonight.
So far.
I have a little bit of a sore throat, so maybe I'll have a hot toddy later tonight. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
And then I'll have a drink. You get it? Hot toddy. Okay, I was trying to say you're gonna like suck some dude's dick. That's the joke I was trying to make here.
No, it wasn't getting
hot toddy.
Wow.
A construction worker coming here named Todd. Okay, never mind. Fuck you, Eric.
Yeah, you lost me on that one.
Hot toddy. Yeah, okay. The listeners will laugh. Laugh, listeners. Damn it.
Jeez. Some obscure, wacky shit there you got there, Adam, which I shouldn't expect nothing less from you. But anyways.
I think the listener. Chime in if you're a listener and you got my joke before I explained.
I thought that was a reference to like a hot babe.
That's what I was going to as well.
I don't know.
I was like, okay, a hot babe, and then I have a drink. Okay.
I work with a guy at work whose name is Todd that I sometimes call Hot Toddy just to fuck with him.
That's good. That's funny.
Just to mess with him. I think it's funny.
That's good.
I don't think he...
You're cruising to get kicked out of the whole office, right? That's your plan?
Well, one of these days. It's inevitable, so it's happened in every other office. No, I'm just kidding. But before we get any further, let's get on to the initial tasting notes. Do you want to go first, Eric?
Yeah, I'll be happy to.
Sure.
So, we've tried spicy ketchup on the show. We've tried sriracha ketchup on the show. We have...
Sir Kensington's was the spicy ketchup, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if we actually tried sweet chili sauce.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And I have a bottle of Frank's sweet chili sauce.
Which I don't like.
I love.
Okay, I don't think I like that one as much.
I'm a huge fan of sweet chili. And I tell you what, I mean, my initial tasting thoughts is this is exactly as it's advertised. I mean, it literally tastes just like ketchup and sweet chili. I'm very well versed in both of those sauces. They're a couple of my favorites, and putting them together, nothing wrong. Very sweet. Thought it was very sweet. But was there a little bit of heat? I suppose maybe. I had a really spicy dinner today, so I didn't notice it, but I'm sure it was there because you got the little flakes, the little peels in there. I'm sure Tori will weigh in with a heat rating.
The flakes and the peels.
Yeah.
You're making me angry. I don't think it's peel at all.
Of course not.
I just burped up a little bit of that truffle sauce.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Is it still good on the second try?
I even had a mint on the way over here just so I wasn't offensive in the car, but because I imagine your breath's got to reek after you eat that stuff.
Is that why you had the windows down?
Yeah. No, it wasn't. I was enjoying the limited nice weather, actually, but that was unrelated, but... That's because I was farting the whole time.
Just a happy accident.
Farts.
Yeah.
I didn't notice any truffle farts last time.
Oh.
Did you guys?
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I wasn't primed to pay attention to it either, though. So.
Is this like something you read about afterwards? Or?
No. I just think in the odor, can't help anything, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I had them. I mean,
you had truffle farts?
Oh no, I was going to say the bolognese.
Oh!
I think your bolognese was kind of upsetting to my stomach,
really?
But everything is these days. So,
yeah, everything's upsetting to you.
Yeah, that's just.
What was upsetting to your stomach about it? Did you have heartburn or?
No,
you just had the
I was
toots?
having the toots.
Toots for doots.
I forgot to
Toots and then splash.
mention there was dairy in that. Did you know that?
I did. I think I took dairy pills. I don't know if I did or not.
Did you take 2? You took 2 rounds of them, didn't you?
Yeah, I did take 2 or 3 pills before I started eating the bolognese.
Okay, I was going to say because you do finish bolognese with a little bit of either sometimes milk, sometimes cream or whatever.
Yeah, so. I think you might have mentioned that or it was brought up at some point. So all good. It
And you've known before that it's just a given that you should take cheese pills if you're around it. If you're within 10 feet of me or Tori, you should be taking cheese pills.
Yeah, dude, cheese is fire.
Just by secondhand lactose, coming out of our pores. So.
And as you pointed out, I always have cheese in my fridge.
Yes.
And I don't ever have milk. I don't ever have straight up milk, and I don't really ever have ice cream.
I don't think you're actually lactose intolerant. I think just everything makes your stomach upset.
I have wondered that myself. So I think
Were you ever diagnosed with this, or is this just like your what is your other thing? Your gout that you've just self-diagnosed?
The arthritis, not gout.
You said gout before. You said I think I have gout.
The gout.
That was
the
you
king's
guys.
disease.
You guys kept planting that in my mind.
You said
going,
your gout.
You have gout. You have gout. That was AK and Tori who started that whole
I did not.
thing.
Listen, this is on the show. We've recorded episodes where you're talking about your gout, so the listeners will know you're full of shit. There's people that binge podcasts. There's people that will just listen to our entire discography of podcasts in one sitting, essentially, and they will be more well versed with, because I've done this. It's funny because it's always really entertaining to be in a podcast and listen to the hosts talking about something, and you're like, "You fucking idiots! You just said that," and you're like, "Oh, that was 2 years ago that they actually said that," but you're listening, a week later or something. So,
I see.
That's happened to me. I can't even tell you how many times where I'm like, "I know." And then you're like, I'll email them, but they're like, oh, I'm still a year behind where they're currently at, so there's no point at that point. So,
wow, you actually take the time to email them?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I would, but like I said, there's no point. So,
yeah.
But you guys can email us, and I don't care what year it is.
There you go. Yeah, email us any old day.
Any old day. Sawspoken@gmail.com, especially if you're a lucky lady listener for Eric. Sleazy E. If you've got tentacles and smell like Shrek's feet, please reach out to our boy.
Where did Shrek's feet come from? Last
The truffle
episode?
farts.
Oh, yeah.
If you smell like Shrek's feet, truffle fart should be no sweat, dude.
Oh, boy. Well, are you done with your tasting notes so we can move on to Tori now?
Yes.
Tori, would you like to hit us with your initial tasting notes?
Yeah, I can't agree with E more. I think this was very much as advertised. It was very ketchup-y. I thought it was sweet. That may be a function of it being ketchup or sweet chili or maybe both, but it was sweet and I thought it was actually quite good. I had a nice big tongue full of it just now, and I got to isolate one of those pieces. I felt like I was dissecting it with my incisors. Yeah. And it had a little bite to it. So, and as a matter of fact, it's still some of the bite. It's not, crippling or anything, but it's still lingering. So that's that. I'm not sure. Maybe enough to move the scales in terms of a heat rating. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly ketchup. It's certainly chili. There's no two ways about it. Not bad. Surprisingly, not bad.
Yeah, as for me, I think, there's not a whole lot I can add to that. I mean, it is directly 1-to-1 ketchup, sweet chili sauce. I personally didn't detect any heat from it whatsoever, and I thought I took a pretty generous dollop on my nuggies, my dino nuggies. I believe I had a Tyrannosaur and maybe a Stegosaur. Neither one of them gave me any heat, and I definitely didn't get anything lingering. Maybe you got more peel than I did, perchance, but I don't know. But yeah, I know I thought it was spot on. Ketchup, sweet chili. The flavors worked really well together, which this type of thing always skeezes me out a little bit because the whole idea of like mixing things, I don't know, just something grosses me out, especially with their industrial labeling on the front with the two streams coming out. Just something sets me off a little bit. I was actually quite shocked how much I really did like this. I was like, wow, this works. This doesn't just seem like they were throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. It seems like this was intentional, like this was engineered.
I agree. Yeah, it's shocking.
And I think one of the reasons, if I was trying to put my finger on it, I think one of the key reasons that it works so well was because they weren't taking something like ketchup and a ranch, which are two totally separate beasts entirely. I think that almost what they did with this was they took a lot of existing flavor notes that were already in traditional Heinz ketchup, and they just moved the sliders, as it were. You know what I mean? So, like, they took existing sweetness in ketchup, of which there's, sufficient amount.
Absolutely.
And they just cranked that slider up. They didn't change it. There's no different sweetness. There's nothing weird about it. They just moved the slider. And I think they did that same thing with, some of maybe they turned the vinegar down a little bit. They turned the sweetness up a little bit. The only thing I think they really added was more of that heat, which we already mentioned before, a spicy ketchup works pretty well.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that they weren't really going quite as far off the rails as it might seem like with this. I think it's just moving the sliders and adding a little bit of heat. What are you pointing at?
So I wonder, because you guys get out more often than I do and go grocery shopping, or at least I know you, Adam, because you're always going down and getting us the sauces in the sauce aisles there in grocery stores. Is this still, because it has new written on the label, which I failed to talk about, but it has a little red dot with new written on it. And this was recently, we talked about the Cranch a little while ago. I guess that was, was that
within the last couple of months?
Oh, was it that recent?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. Pretty recent.
It's all blending together. So, I just wonder if it ended up at Ollie's. Does this mean it's already phased out of the grocery stores? Like, is this no longer a product you can get?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that shit works, but
what's the expiration date on this? Did we check?
It's very much in date. It's like February 22. Yeah.
So it could be a year old, conceivably, though, at this point, because I think things like ketchup have a long shelf life.
Yeah.
True.
So they may have just been moving through old stock.
They have the wildest shit out at Aldi's, man. Craziness.
Now, that time you definitely said Aldi's.
Yeah.
I heard it.
Yeah, right.
I heard it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I did.
Okay.
I'm getting lazy over here.
Ollie's.
Got crazy shit at Ollie's. Let me try that again.
You know what my favorite thing at Aldi's is, Eric?
Aldi's,
go ahead, take a drink of your water.
Aldi's nuts.
Hey!
A big jar, yeah.
Eric was getting ready to take a drink of water. I wanted to gaudy him in while he had some water in his mouth, but
a big jar of Aldi's nuts.
Aldi's nuts. But that was kind of my thoughts on it.
I really like it, and I wonder also if Heinz. They're a global big name. You know, they're all over the world.
The world.
And I wonder if this isn't
Mr.
something
Worldwide.
that I feel like this is something they definitely have done before and did it in other markets that would be more susceptible to that. The hot, spicy sriracha kind of markets. Like, I bet you this is like big in like South Korea or I don't know, Vietnam. Like, I would almost guarantee this is like, it'd be almost hard pressed to not find this over there. But maybe I'm wrong. I think it would do very well over there. If it's not, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it would be spicy enough for those folks. I mean, I
don't think so. I don't think it needs, to be honest with you, I don't think this needs a spice rating at all. A heat rating. Yeah, I know you were kind of on the fence there, Tori.
Yeah, I'll pass. I mean, if I have the opportunity to give it, I'll give it maybe like a 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Eric and I are both thumbs down on this. So
right, I'd give it a 0.
Down it is.
I just wouldn't do it.
It does bear mentioning that on the website, it doesn't have the little circle that says new on it, which I don't know if that means anything or not, but it does not show that on the website. Not a whole lot else going on the website here.
Yeah, nothing. It's no sellers found. That's a good thing.
Now, that is interesting. I do wonder if maybe it is like an out-of-production thing. Good question.
That'd be a shame.
I know it would be a shame because I actually did like this one better. Now, the only thing I will say about this, and maybe this will factor into ratings later, but for me personally, it was good on the nuggies. I like it. It was a nice break from regular ketchup or something like that. But I'm just trying to think, like, what else are you putting this on?
Oh, I'd use this on a hot dog in a heartbeat.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know if I'd like this on a hot dog.
That crossed my mind. Not certain. Tough call to make.
Yeah, that is hard for me. Like I said, I definitely think a nuggie. It was good on that. I could see it on some other like fried chicken products, you know, but I'm like, I would give it a shot on some French fries.
Chicken wings?
I don't know, man. I think ketchup on chicken wings was weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's too ketchupy for me to be trying this on some other things. It's kind of the same problem we have with the Cranch, where I feel like your limited use cases are becoming the problem. You know, it's hard to pair ketchup with other things and, you know, put it on a wide berth of, I don't know, meatballs. Maybe I would throw this on some meatballs.
What about a scrambled egg?
Yeah.
I think it's too sweet for me on the eggs, to be honest with you. If it was less sweet, I could definitely see that. But because I like the spice in the ketchup, or like I'll throw hot sauce and ketchup on like a corned beef hash even. But
that depends on the hash. But
I wouldn't do this on that. With the sweetness doesn't play for me on that.
Interesting.
The sweetness is certainly a flavor profile you have to take into consideration. Like, it'd almost be like the dessert hot dog. Like, after having one with like regular ketchup and mustard.
Well, that's a unique thought.
The dessert hot dog. I love this.
You know, that's like your third or fourth one in. You're like,
I'm feeling a recipe's coming along. Go ahead, we'll do an impromptu recipes.
Do I have to use hot dogs?
What else goes on the dessert hot dog? That's all I want to know.
Love
You got,
this.
first of all, what kind of like bun? Start us off.
Let's see here.
Oh, dude, there's an obvious selection.
Where you gotta say King's, like a King's sweet Hawaiian?
I already know. I think Tori and I are on the same page.
Yeah, that would be a good selection. But I was thinking a chocolate eclair or like a coconut
I was thinking
crawler.
a donut. I was thinking a donut. I was thinking a glazed donut, but yeah.
Go way sweet. Go crazy.
That's like bun shaped. You know, you just slice a sumbitch right
That's
down.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No, I was
the
thinking
eclair
something like that.
without the cream. Scrape the cream out or just leave it in there. Just put the hot dog.
De-cream it.
No, dude, leave the cream in.
Oh.
No. You get an eclair for a reason. Leave the cream.
It just sounds whack with a hot dog in it, but I guess that's what you guys are going
I was
for.
thinking a glazed donut, to be honest.
Who says it has to be a hot dog? Remember, it's one of them churros from Taco Bell.
I was thinking one of those long hot. No, I want him to use this sauce on it. This sauce has to make an appearance on
This
this dessert
sauce.
hot dog.
See, I would even do like this sauce and like
Hold on, you're
spicy.
saying King's Hawaiian bun.
like King's Hawaiian bun,
What type of frank?
just regular all beef frank.
You're talking bun length?
Yep, bun length.
You're not talking like a foot long on a 6-inch bun or something?
Nope, nothing crazy like that.
All right. You're not talking like a mini weenie in like a a foot long bun.
You want all that combination of like
I've heard girls call you that before.
salty meat.
You knew.
You want
mini
that,
weenie in a foot long bun.
you want that salty meat with that sweet bread and the like sweet sauce, and I think actually to amp up the spice a little bit level, I think like a little bit of like kimchi on there, a little bit of like spicy,
Okay. I'm with ya.
vinegary,
Oh boy.
cabbage.
All right, so you got a frank on a King's Hawaiian roll, Ketchili's going on there, some kimchi. What else?
And I need something else to bring back another sweet note, especially if people find that as like too hot. I need to find an alternative that's still. See, I think again, like I almost think like a sauerkraut might be really good with that too. But that'd be
kimchi and sauerkraut.
That would be an either-or thing.
That would be either or.
You'd have some hella truffle farts after.
You'd be a stinky J.O.
You know, if you don't want the spicy kimchi.
What about like caramelized onions?
I was thinking caramelized onions.
Sweetness right there.
Sweet.
Shallots.
Good.
Yeah.
Caramelized onions would be.
Okay.
That's a nailing. That's perfect.
What are you garnishing it with? You gotta have a little garnish on top, I think, too. One bean? Just one single bean hanging out? What are you gonna put as a garnish?
Garnish. I think you could always go with just chives, or actually the purple chive flour. Those are really tasty, and they look very pretty.
Interesting concept. Speaking of strange, I think that's a pretty good recipe, Eric. I'll give you a B+ on that one.
It's a strange one.
That was good.
Speaking of recipes, I want to read you guys an interesting cocktail I had the other day.
You actually had this?
Yeah, I had this. So I'm gonna save one ingredient for last because I want you to envision all these flavors together. So, bullet rye, that's your main. Saint Germain, which I believe is elderflower liqueur. Is that correct?
I've heard of it, but I've never actually even had it. I don't think.
Saint Germain, lavender simple syrup, orange bitters. All sounds pretty par for the course, right? Standard fare, sweet and a rye.
Yeah.
And then, in addition to that, there's Allegheny Roasters cold brew coffee.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that one.
Saint Germain, lavender simple syrup, and orange bitters. I had this at a local establishment kind of close to us called the Abbey on Butler Street.
Nope, no, on Butler Street. So actually on Butler Street. That's
like the name of the place as it appears on Google. But I had this, and I asked the waiter there, I said, is this good? And he said, to be honest with you, it just came out this week. I haven't had it yet. I don't know. He said, but you can trust the bartenders here. And I was like, okay, sold. And I'll be honest, if it wasn't downright good, I was actually really impressed. Because the thing is, the cold brew was subtle, and it kind of came on towards the end. And I think you'd probably know the story too, but a lot of like coffee kind of has like subtle cherry notes to begin with in it.
No, absolutely.
And it actually played beautifully with all those things together. And I was like, man, this must have taken a real wild man to come up with, but they nailed it. It was really good. It was a beautiful bouquet of flavors. So I would say definitely check them out if you're in the Pittsburgh area. They may or may not have that drink, but I will definitely say trust your bartender.
What was the name of the drink?
I don't think it had a name. It was just their special cocktail. Their whatever weekly flair cocktail. I don't even know if it had a name.
Wow.
I feel like it could be, if you got the ratio wrong, things could go wrong with
I would not make it at your home. I wouldn't try. I think it's too delicate. And it was subtle too. It wasn't overpowering in any aspect. It was really good. Not too sweet. The color was nice on it. I don't know. The whole thing was beautiful. So really excellent job.
Wow.
But getting back to other tasting things, it's time for Eric's favorite segment of the show, the ingredients.
And I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot of them here. It's not nearly as big as I was expecting.
Ketchup and chili sauce.
All right.
2.
Tomato puree, sugar, vinegar, sriracha sauce.
Huh.
Which has a bunch of stuff in it that I can go into, right? I mean, it's got red jalapeno peppers, aged cayenne peppers, sugar, salt, garlic, vinegar, water, citric acid, natural flavors, all inside that sriracha sauce. Cornstarch, Adam, nailed it.
Nice.
Salt, spice, dried onion, dried garlic.
You're struggling here with something. The label's in the way.
A sticker.
All these labels in the way.
It was $1.25, so you can rip off the sticker.
$1.25.
All that was covering up says natural flavor.
Oh.
Nice. And what's the size on this jar? Did we say that?
No, we didn't. It's also 15.5 fluid ounces.
15 ounces. For what, $1.25?
$1.25, babe.
That's a
pretty
steal.
Good. Yeah, I definitely think it's worth a shot for that, even if it doesn't have a lot of use cases. I'd slam on this on some nuggies even and just be done with it.
Yeah, nuggies. Yeah, nuggies would be. You really can't lose.
I don't know. I would probably try it on some other things, but you might have to talk me into it. That's the only thing I'll say about that.
Chicken patty sandwich, which is basically a nuggie with bread.
Yeah.
How about on a hamburger?
I would. I mean, I don't think it would be great, but I think it would be okay.
Yeah, I might have to see it with some other, I don't know. I might have to see some other stuff on there, too. You might have to sell me on that burger a little bit, I guess, with the rest of the ingredients, but...
I don't know, man. I mean, I think it'd be more inclined to be put it on a burger than a hot dog. I mean, hell, you put hot pepper cheese on a hamburger without thinking twice.
Yeah, but I see those as different things to me, personally.
I think you're onto something there. If I was to do a quick recipe for a burger, I would say do that grilled pineapple, hot pepper cheese.
Yeah.
and
Okay, well,
sweet sriracha.
I don't know if I
So
need
you get that like sweet, cheesy, then like citrusy and
I don't know if
sweet
I'd
notes.
put cheese on with that burger. I think I like your pineapple idea, and maybe like some red onion or something like that on there too. But
I know Fatheads does a pineapple and pulled pork, and I think they put cheese on it. I'm not sure if they do or not. I'd have to
I don't know if I
look
need
it up.
cheese on something like that. Cheese,
Or maybe a real soft cheese, maybe like that Rico's cheese.
Interesting. I don't know if I'd do that with this particular ketchup, but it is an interesting thought. I would do
With
that.
the pineapple.
I would do that on a burger. Let's be straight up with that, without any pineapple. I would slap Rico's on a burger any day of the week.
We can make that happen.
We should get the extra thick one, and maybe you can like slice it. Just put a slice of Rico's on top.
A slice of Rico's.
That'd be pretty cool.
I was just envisioning someone taking like a cooked patty, dunking it into Rico's, like a vat of Rico's cheese, and then like putting it into something like those plank, but not
claw
planko,
machine?
but the kind of like what's it
broiler?
called? Planko chips, so like
You're
crunchy.
shaking. Are you having a stroke?
Plinko,
No.
like Plinko chips, like on
Planko chips.
Panko.
The Price is Right?
That's what it's called. Panko breadcrumbs.
Plinko.
Right.
I thought he was talking about the fucking
The game.
the game on Price is Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Plinko.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
game.
So you're not playing.
You cover it in Plinko. You put it in a Plinko machine, Tori.
Oh, wait, so you're not
Hey,
playing
you
the game.
Dip it in the nacho,
Panko.
and then you put it in the Plinko machine.
Talking the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, the breadcrumbs.
Okay.
But they make a fish variety of them. That's actually like a fish like shell.
Huh?
It's like crunch to
Fish
it.
don't
like
have
a
shells,
spicy
Eric. Those aren't fish.
scales, crab. I don't know. It's
What are you on?
it's like
right
a
now?
Korean. It's a very Orient.
The fever has reached your brain. That's for
maybe
sure.
possibly.
You got
Very
me,
Oriental kind of like dish, but I have no idea what it's actually called.
You can't say that word, Eric.
Oriental.
But before we go any further, let's stop bearing the lead and let's get on to our ratings portion of the show. I'll let you go first again, Eric.
Let me go first. I like this a lot. I mean, it's really sweet, which is probably my biggest knock against it. It's almost like too sweet, which we already discussed. But
The flavor is fully enhanced, though. I will say that.
the flavor's great. I don't know. I'm gonna go 9. It's pretty high up there.
Wow, we a 9.
Tori, your eyes almost bulged out of your head.
I
Even
did.
You weren't expecting that.
I was not expecting a 9 out of you, Ian.
Eric hasn't been this positive on a sauce in a long time.
Wow.
Or anything.
Or anything. Thanks, Adam.
Damn.
Holy cow.
Well, let's see how you want to follow that up, Tori, I guess.
Yeah, it's big shoes to fill. Well, I like it better than ketchup on its own, which is in a stark contrast to the Cranch. Because I thought, well, that was just an all-around shitty experience. Awful. But yeah, I like this better than ketchup on its own. I'm with you, Adam. I think the spice is great. I think the garlic and the onion and all that stuff that E mentioned and ingredients certainly happens and comes to fruition. Yeah, I think it's pretty darn good. And even if its only home is on chicken nuggets, I think that's okay. Yeah, I don't think that's the end of the world. And yeah, man, so I can't go as high as E with a 9, but I am going to go with a 7.5. That half point being it's from the store that, of course, is very near and dear to my heart, Ollie's.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, I think for me, I think you're right. I do think I liked it better than ketchup. I think ketchup has more usage, and I would definitely be more inclined to keep some ketchup around than this at all times.
That's fair.
But I think, the way I'm currently feeling, which is, if we're being honest, kind of burned out on ketchup on something like a chicken nugget, this would be a way to spice that back up, both literally and metaphorically. So I think for me, yeah, I think on at least on what we had it tonight, which was the way we're rating it, I'm going to give it a better rating than ketchup, and I think I'm going to come in with a 7. Not knocking my socks off or anything like that, and I'm going to say I'll give it a discretionary half point for the value, but I have to just subtract half of a discretionary point as well, because it's such limited use cases. Like I said, this is another thing that we had with the Cranch, and I just have a real problem with what am I going to have this on? I'm going to have this on Nuggies, and I'm going to really struggle on what else I want to think to have it on, and I feel like it's probably going to mostly go to waste in my fridge. At $1.25, I'm not going to lose any sleep over that, but I'm sure that wasn't its full retail price originally. So.
Absolutely not. That bottle, I bet if you were to get that at Target, was probably easily $3.50.
Oh yeah, I was saying $3.54. Yeah, I would have to guess.
Another thing that I do with the Frank's sweet chili by itself is I'll just put it into a bowl with rice and vegetables.
I wondered if this would be good in just rice. I was actually thinking about that, but because I think ketchup could be good on rice, although I think most people don't do it. And I think I don't know, man. I could see that.
Sounds like depression food, man.
Yeah. But I would try to put this on rice.
Yeah.
I'm also a big fan of putting ketchup on mashed potatoes.
Oh, you sick fuck.
That is sick.
I know. Everyone says that.
I've learned not to.
Would you put that on mashed potatoes? Would you put Ketchili on it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'd crush it. Okay.
Eric, you're fucking...
Doesn't make it any less weird, but I just want to confirm that.
You're a fucking sicko.
I know it really turns people off when like you mix it together. It becomes just red mashed potatoes.
Yes,
so,
that's
like,
gross. Yeah.
So,
You know what?
I've learned to just put like a little like on just occasionally like just like a little like squirt on top,
pleasure.
and then I like scoop up that bite and take it all in my mouth at once, so
Churn
people
it in
don't
your
have
mouth.
to see it. People don't have to see it.
Yeah, now I'm just afraid that you're at home just gleefully mashing ketchup into your potatoes like, ha-ha, they can't catch me now! Yeah,
Hey,
dude,
if I'm home alone, why not? I wouldn't care.
Oof, man, that's too much for me. You know, it's still stuck in my mind a few episodes ago. I don't even remember what we were specifically talking about, but I know that we were talking about something, and you were talking about some little kid that didn't want to eat. Oh, I know what it was. It was the sweet potatoes with the marshmallow on top, and you said there's some little kid that didn't want to eat it, and he's just sitting there churning it on his plate for no reason. That mental imagery of people churning food makes me so nauseous, like I'm going to puke right now.
Yeah, that's a really bad word to use.
You know how your mouth starts to water when it knows you're going to puke? Every time I get that mental image of the churning food, my mouth starts to water in a bad way.
It lets you know, babe.
It's an
like,
image that was seared into my mind. Like, yeah, I think it was at a restaurant too. You know, it was at a rrestaurant. The kid was young, and it was just like
churning.
This amazing, like evenly homogenized.
I'm gonna puke.
Sweet, sweet potatoes and marshmallow.
I have really like. I don't know. I think I have a pretty sensitive, like, strong stomach to eating foods, but I have a very weak stomach as like mental imagery when I'm eating foods. You know, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm very sensitive to that type of thing, and the idea of churning anything. Really.
What about churning butter?
I'm okay with churning butter. I'll fuck with some butter hard.
Okay.
But yeah, churning any sort of like food that's meant to just be ingested as is, yeah, it really turns my stomach off in a bad way. Luckily, this Ketchili ain't doing that for me.
Yeah, quite the opposite. Quite
I think
already
pleasurable.
blended, but they're close enough that you don't mind.
That's the thing about the blending. That's the other thing about the two streams on front is I'm imagining that little kid churning those two streams into one solid thing, and that's part of it. I think honestly, I don't
Keep
like
saying
things,
the word. Yeah,
I don't like things being mixed. Damn it.
You know, it's funny. I went through that phase too. I actually went through that phase first, which I think most children do. You know, that you have the little children plates that have the separation, so no food can touch each other.
Right.
And I was adamant about that. And then something mixed together, and it was like the Ratatouille movie, where
Probably
it was
the ketchup and the mashed potatoes.
Probably. And I was like, oh my god, why am I separating anything? And I was like, went through that whole phase of like everything should get mixed together. You know, everything would be served. I was like, just put it all together, and I'm just gonna swirl it all together anyways.
One thing that we used to do when we were kids, speaking of churning, was we used to take mashed. I don't know if I can talk about this. We used to take potato chips, just like plain Lay's potato chips, mash them up in a bowl, like just pour water on them until it was like a paste.
Oh,
I'm gonna puke.
Wait, you did this as a kid?
Yeah, me and my sister, and then we had like one of those like child's kitchen things, you know, like, oh, we'll put this in the oven, you know, but then we'd eat it, and I might actually puke. This cold, soggy mess of mashed potatoes. It was just salty and it was like grits. It was like grits, but 10 times worse somehow. Oh God!
Extra oily, extra salty. Yeah, that sounds.
Let's move away
brutal.
from this before I actually puke on air. But man, I think luckily that's going to do it for us this week on the Heinz Ketchili. Thanks, Tori, for grabbing that up at the local Ollie's store.
Of course, I love going there.
It was a fun one to give a try to.
Yeah,
at least I thought so.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was cool.
But yeah, I think they did. Actually, honestly, I like this better than I expected, if we're going to call it like that. I was coming into this thinking like, yeah, that's a good one that Tori got, but I'm going to fucking hate this, you know. But it was actually quite good. So
one of these days, I'd even like to make a field trip out to Ollie's. I've never been.
We can go, man. We can go. It's usually me and Carrie Sue that go, but this last time AK and Carrie Sue went, man, we could always use a fourth or fifth head for that matter.
Hey, we've been talking about doing some live shows on the YouTubes at some point.
I'm getting to be a regular celebrity out there, so
we could definitely make that happen. But that's going to do it for us this week for the Heinz Ketchili. And with that being said, Eric,
closing thoughts.
Do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to share with the listeners this week?
I had something too, and I've lost it. I don't know. Wash your damn hands. Stay healthy. Winter's coming. To quote the Starks.
All right.
Winter is coming. It sounds very ominous.
Winter is coming. Well, just stay healthy. Don't let the flu season get to you. All that. Don't let the blues get to you. Try and stay upbeat.
Okay.
Tori,
well
how
done.
about some touching thoughts?
Touching thoughts with Tori.
Well, I got something for you today. Believe it or not. Let me rap at you one time. And maybe this would have been more appropriate for last week because we were doing some comparison last week.
Uh-oh.
Well, you can make the argument that we were comparing this here Ketchili to Ketchup. And in this sense, and in this, through this particular lens, I think the idea of comparison is, pretty good. It certainly makes for some halfway decent content. But now we take a look at comparison and the idea of comparison and peeking over the fence to see what your neighbor is doing. That's not healthy. That's not healthy for you. That's not healthy to be nebby and to get all in your neighbor's business like that. But that's beside the point. That's not the point I'm trying to make. But the point I am trying to make is that comparison is absolutely useless to self-improvement because you're going to be spending all this time thinking about what your neighbor has or what Mr. Jones has or whoever has. And you're not going to worry about what yourself has or how you can get to where you want to be. So don't compare yourself to others because they're at another stage in the road than you are. And take that road and take it strong because we know you can. And we're proud of you and we love you. And that'll do it for me. Thanks.
Beautiful. Well, as always, we have to thank you guys so much for listening to us, catching in another Pennsylvania favorite, the Heinz Ketchili ketchup stuff. But as always, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Oh no, it's the end of the show. Thank goodness there's several other episodes waiting just for you. Check out our Instagram. We like to have some fun over there. We post the sauce bottle pics if you're curious, and the occasional meme. That's going to be Sauce Spoken official. Despite our humble nature, we are accepting donations, believe it or not. Look us up on PayPal. That's going to be at Sauce Spoken. Hey, and if you like what you hear, grease those palms, babe. Lastly, roll up your sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty at saucespoken.wordpress.com. We have show notes and details. Check it out. Share us with a family member or a friend. If you're enjoying it, I'm certain they will too. Good night.